me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
Like family. So with any family, you're gonna have disagreements. You're not gonna think the same, which is great. You're gonna challenge each other. With any team that I'm working with is to find the strength in the individual and build that strength up and let that strength shine. We can work on the improvements that need to happen, but definitely digging roots in what you're good at and helping that shine.
Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, Leadership Series. Today we're shining the spotlight on Henry County, Georgia, a Parks and Rec department that's become a model of thriving culture, teamwork, and community impact. Joining us is Jonathon Penn, Executive Director of Henry County Parks and Recreation, a leader who believes in empowering people, building future leaders, and creating what he calls amazing recreational experiences. In this episode, Jonathon shares how his team, which he proudly calls the Avengers, turn challenges into opportunities. From navigating COVID in his first months on the job, to building a family atmosphere where staff feel valued, supported, and inspired. We'll dive into his leadership philosophy of trust, delegation, and caring for the well-being of his team. Plus, how Henry County is shaping the future with innovative mentorship programs, a bold new master plan, and a culture rooted in care. Stay tuned. This is one you won't want to miss.
All right. This is Craig LeBlanc, the doorman, live again with the Daily Parks and Rec Show Leadership Series. I have a special guest, and I know we're not supposed to play favorites, but Henry County, Georgia is winning my heart. They are just unbelievable. And this is their fearless leader, or if he's afraid, he hides it well, and he carries it with grace. But welcome back to the show, JP. How are you doing today?
Man, thank you for having me back on the show. I'm super excited to be back on and just talk about Parks and Rec.
Oh, yes.
You know, we have a lot of great things to share and talk about that we have going on here in Henry County. We're constantly busy with something going on. So I'm super excited to share what we have going on.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to play our little thank you to everybody that's helped us, along with you and your leadership and your team are just, I tell you, it's the greatest content to cover. And I'm so glad I get to boost this message and get it out to the rest of the world. So we'll go ahead and play this and we'll be right back.
From a simple mic in a rec center to a full-scale media company for the people who power our parks. 200 real stories, 5 original shows, and more to come, with one powerful mission: to lift up the voices of Parks and Rec professionals across the country. From maintenance crews and young interns and youths who love sports, to directors and public servants making a difference. We've built a platform that honors the unsung heroes behind every clean trail, every weekend tournament, every safe, welcoming park. This milestone isn't just about the content, it's about the people, the passion, the purpose. To every guest, listener, and supporter, thank you. The next chapter starts today. This is DPRS Media Co. Media for public service.
All right, so our next promo is going out to anyone that wants to help us create standalone shows for Parks and Recreation, Henry County, Georgia, and for our Youth Sports Mastery Show and the Rec Room. These are 2 shows that we kind of co-create, with one with Henry County, Georgia, and the other one with the National Academy of Athletics. We're at the stage where we want to create 12 more shows that are very specific to all things in Parks and Rec, and Another one that's born right outside of Henry County, Georgia, is we are going to create a esports show on Saturdays where we have Parks and Rec departments versus other Parks and Rec departments, esports, and we're going to create tournaments, and it's just going to be a blast. We're going to create something the kids are going to love. And so, and we're doing it with the help of, is it John that's in charge of y'all's esports, correct?
John now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is doing a great job. So if you would like to help us create some of these channels, whether it's on urban forestry or finances or software or special events, please reach out to me. We're in some great discussions, and we can only accept about 48 vendors or park systems that are helping us create this, and then we got to just cap it off. So if you're interested, please reach out to me, and we created a little promo for that. So we'll play this and we'll come back and have a great conversation with Jonathon.
At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.
All right. So I first wanted to give a big shout out to one of your leaders that you found in Thomas White. He is just a machine. I am blown away
Yes,
by
he
how
is.
much work he can get done. He is.
Yes, he's like, what is that cartoon or that character? Like, there's just goals all the time. Like, he's on 1,000 all the time, all the
Yes.
time, just running around.
Yeah. And I told you offline, but I wanted to say he reminds me of this character in a book called The Gates of Fire, and it's kind of a fiction based off of a historical facts and of I don't know if you remember that movie 300 with the Spartans when they were facing the Persians.
Yes.
And
Yep.
so they had an
Yep.
author made a great book called Gates of Fire, and there's this person in there that the Spartans, he was, I forget his name, but he was not a Spartan, but he went into battle with them, and he was just a person
Okay.
that just waged war on the front line, couldn't turn him off. And they were like, get this guy on our side, put him on the front line and let him just be himself and do what he does. And they used him kind of like a secret weapon, like this cannon they could just point
Yep.
to their enemy. And I'm like, that's
Yes.
Thomas.
That is Thomas, man. Got him on. He actually, I think he told a story on one of your shows, but you know, he came out of the prison system where he was a guard and all the stories that happened with him. And so when he actually started working for a elected official. And I met with him. The elected official wanted him to meet with me because she had some questions about Parks and Rec. So we were talking. He was like, "Man, I really want to just be in Parks and Rec. I really do." Like, oh, okay, cool. And some months passed, almost a year, and the opportunity came up, and he applied. And I said, "That's our guy right there." I already knew just from that initial conversation because of the energy that he had, his personality. And then he didn't disappoint.
Nope.
I told him what it was when I hired him and what I would like for him to do, and he just multiplied that by tenfold. So yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you just kind of glad to have him on the team, and he just gets stuff done, and he leads with his. You could tell he's a mission-driven man, like he is a man on a mission, and you just put
and
him
I
out.
just let him loose. Sometimes
That's it.
I have to run back in and be like, "Oh, we can't do that," or "You might want to think about this. And we need to change this a little bit." But I just let him loose and let him be him and do his thing. So
Yeah. Yes. Well, that is part of the secret sauce that you have over there. And really, a lot of the people that I've met, and I'm so glad that we've created a show with y'all. I don't know whose idea it was to share, kind of pull back the curtain and share your leadership team. But you have just got a like a stack of aces over there. And they're all just killing it.
yes,
Brian,
thank you,
KP, Michelle,
KP,
Donna,
Donna.
just go down the list.
Yes.
You
The
have
Avengers.
yeah, I was just going to say that. I was like, you have assembled the Avengers, and they've all. He's kind of like the Incredible Hulk that you just say Hulk smash, just get out the way.
Yes. I guess in that situation, I would be Tony Hawk. Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Yeah.
Because he's kind of like the one that keep everybody together, mastermind, I guess.
Yeah. Or you or maybe even Captain America. I kind of see you as that, just like
Captain America. Yeah.
That just steadfast leadership.
America, definitely.
That's you for sure.
And it's like, he was. Yeah, I like Captain.
And it's just you just know your team so well, and you just allow them to just bring their talent and their passions to your community. And I'm just blown away by how much of a family atmosphere that you've created. And you haven't even been there that long. How long have you been with Henry County?
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years. And the funny thing is, it's a short 5 years because the first couple years were COVID. And
right.
Everyone was like, I literally got here right before COVID, a month, 2 months before COVID, because COVID started in March when it was like a worldwide pandemic. And I got to Henry County in January. So I had literally 2 months, and then we're going through all these COVID protocols and working from home and working remotely and coming in different pods and different groups coming in one day and coming in. So it was challenging those first couple of years going through that and learning everyone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I see it. So, and really to highlight what y'all are doing is just really amazing. Like this is a Parks and Rec department that just is firing on all cylinders and is just doing a great job. And it's not that that y'all don't have difficulties and face plants and everything else, but the way y'all just work through it as a team, it's just such an ideal situation that y'all have. And I'm hoping y'all just keep it going. Just keep being y'all.
Yes. And we're like you said, we're like family. So with any family, you're going to have disagreements. You're not going to think the same, which is great. You're going to challenge each other, and you're going to help each other grow. I know it's always a big deal for me with any team that I'm working with is to find the strength in the individual and build that strength up and let that strength shine. And then we can work on the improvements that need to happen. But definitely dig in and what you're good at and helping that shine through.
Yeah. And you have not surrounded yourself by a bunch of yes men. And some leaders, that's how they are.
Not at all.
It's like they push back on you, and they have their own suggestion, and you just let them. You let them be them, and that's, to me, that's the best way to lead.
And for me, it's not about, because I don't think that I have all the answers. Like, I don't want to have all the answers. I want to be surrounded with people that have ideas and other perspectives, because it allows us to be better and grow. And so I know that I don't have all the answers. I may have an opinion and a perspective and experience in some something and I can bring that to the table, but I also want to hear what your opinion and experience is as well, so that we can come to the best solution.
Yeah.
And I invite that with everyone within our group. I don't care if you are um, the maintenance guy. Like, I want to hear what your ideas are. I want to hear what you feel could work more efficiently. I want to hear what issues and problems that you have. I'm not going to think that I know it all. I'm not out there every day
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like it. And even like the analogy of the Avengers, how you can see each little superhero has their own skills and they can just go off and conquer their little part of the world and come back as a team and figure out, okay, what's the next big thing that's get rid of it, destroy
Yep.
us. And you know, it's just got to be a great team. And you could tell that the team just wants to be there. Like I don't know how you're ever going to have a new spot open up in your Parks and Rec department, because it doesn't look like anybody's leaving.
And so that's the challenging part.
Mhm.
The good thing, as we continue to grow as a county, we're going to need to grow as a department, which is going to provide other opportunities for individuals.
Yeah.
One of the things, definitely in our park maintenance side of our department, Brian does a great job of promoting from within, but it's because no one wants to leave. Like,
Yeah.
when a position comes available, especially on those lower levels, um, if someone leaves, it's rare that they leave, but it's for a good reason.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to go that they're passionate about doing, other than facilities maintenance and parks and recreation, or they're going to school, or different opportunities or whatever it may be. They hate to leave, and we've had people leave and come back
Yeah.
because they're like, yeah, I need to come back. I need to be back over there in that atmosphere and what we had going on over there. So
Yeah. Yeah. And then that internship program is and who's spearheading that up? Is Thomas the one leading that internship program, or because it just
he
seems
is.
like
That is one of the things we tasked him with. He does a great job with writing grants,
Mhm.
and he was the one that we selected to write our grants. And we do have a grant for our internship program.
Nice.
And so we utilize that, and he, you know, he does all the interviews for those interns and brings them in, and he lets them loose and let them do their thing. And he ends up convincing them that they need to have a career in parks and recreation.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm shocked at how many people that y'all have hired that stay, that come through the internship program. It's like y'all are doing what we've all said we wanted to do, is just invest in those future leaders, create a pipeline for yourself, that you have this kind of never ending pool of talented people that want to be there when they're super young. And I mean, what a great
Yep.
way to kind of secure your future long after y'all are gone. You're just creating just an army of lieutenants that are just already there and ready to step up whenever that time comes.
And I would say the big thing with leading people is you got to show that you appreciate them. That doesn't
Mhm.
always equate to monetarily appreciating them, but talking to them, telling them that you appreciate them, going to the places where they're working and say, "Hey, thank you for what you do. You are a vital asset to what we have going on and the culture that we built and the success that we have. Thank you." Um, we also do awards. We do we call them Bravo awards, like Bravo. So we'll do Bravo awards where we let the groups select who do they think exemplifies our pillars of excellence over, this quarter, and or about, I think it's every other month. And so we let the team select those individuals and say, "Hey, who do y'all recommend, and who exhibited, a pillar, and how can we appreciate them?" And so we give them that Bravo award. They get a card, they get a flash certificate, things like that. So sometimes it's not always just about a raise. It's about just acknowledging that they have value in what they're contributing to the team.
Yeah. Now, what do you kind of look for in people that serves them well on your team? What are kind of the qualities that you can kind of highlight to say that this is a good fit for us?
Someone that's open-minded,
Mhm.
someone that is, what's the right word I'm looking for? I guess, like Bruce Lee said, someone that can be like water in certain
Mhm.
situations, because everything
Yeah.
is so ever changing in Parks and Recreation. And you got to be able to move and adapt and change with the situations that happen in Parks and Recreation.
Right.
So definitely someone like that. And it really just depends on the position. But I mean, just baseline, bottom line, good people that
Mhm.
care about other people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and then how about yourself? What are the kind of qualities in yourself that you're really trying to develop and make sure that I got to have this as a leader if I want to build this kind of team?
Um, for me, I know one of the biggest things was when I got here, I had to, I feel like, and Michelle doesn't hold her tongue.
Yeah.
And she was like, you don't have to do everything. And I was like, you're right, I don't. And you know what? I'm going to trust you guys to do the things that I ask and to be and do what I think you're great at. And so developing that trust was big for me in developing the team that we have, as well as um, delegating more
Hmm.
as a leader. And then that falls back into that trust factor of, okay, they're going to do it, they're going to get it done, and it's going to get done well. It may not
Hmm.
be how I would have approached it, but at the end of the day, we got the result that we wanted. And
Yeah.
so that's what I have to trust, that
Yeah.
they're going to do it their way, but we're going to still have the same result.
Yeah. And really caring for a community, building them up, delivering the value that, all the things that you deliver to your community, it can't be done by one person. I mean, it truly is a
No,
team effort.
it can't.
This is not something that could ever be done by one man in a Parks and Rec department.
Not at all. I mean, I had a conversation with the team and was like, so like, how is it different? What are some of the good things that we're doing different from the past before I got here? Um, and they were like, we do a whole lot more. Like, we do
Mm,
so much more for the community. We're so much more engaged with the community. We have something every weekend almost
mhm.
um, for the community, and we have a big event almost every month of the year
Yep.
for the community, and it's exciting. It's exhausting, and sometimes I have to kind of gauge the temperature of the groups and the different teams that are working these events and these programs and things, and just kind of, okay, we may need to scale back, or we may need to reschedule this, or we may need to think about this next year, of how we're going to restructure how when we do certain things so that there isn't burnout
Right.
as well. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one thing we talked about on one of the Rec Room shows is how do we guard from burnout? What are the kind of things you do to kind of stay in touch with your team and spot, hey, this person needs a break, or what are the things you kind of look for to kind of guard your team from exhausting themselves?
Sometimes is irritated really quick and agitated really quick. If they're not a person that's always like that, and then they're starting to be agitated or irritated about every little thing, it's like, okay, yeah, you're getting to that point. Go ahead and take a few days off, and we can regroup after that, or take a week off if you need it, and we can regroup after that,
Right.
because the burnout is real. And then the health. Like, I'm huge on health, and I want everyone to be healthy on my team, because if you're not healthy, then you're not going to be able to help the team. Um,
Right.
and I recently did a presentation to the team, and also our executive director team, about leading yourself. It starts with self. Self leadership is how you have great leadership for team, and you have to have those guiding principles for yourself, so that your team can be as good as they need to be
Yeah.
and lead others as well.
Yeah, I mean, it to me, it reminds me of that quote that you can't help someone, you can't save someone from drowning if you're drowning. And so you
Right.
got to really take care of yourself.
Yep. You definitely have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Think about your own personal habits, your own personal routines, and things that you have going on that you can improve upon so that you can be the best version of yourself so that you can be there for your team. Um,
Yeah.
I think about it all the time with my kids. Like, I have to be healthy. I have to be, you know, able to have high energy because I have two young boys that want to run around all day, every day, and jump and wrestle and play ball and all those things. And so, like, I have to take care of myself so that I can be there for them, one, and then be there for the people that I work with.
Yeah. Yeah, and that really is important, because a lot of times, especially with such an important mission that y'all have, and how people hold that mission so dear that they'll sacrifice themselves for the mission and then realize that they just get crushed under it because they're not really caring for themselves. How do you kind of help people, I
Yep.
guess, you know, take care of themselves, or what are the kind of things you do as reminders?
So we have at one of our departments, we have a massage chair room. So it's like a Zen space. If you need
Nice.
to take a break, go in there. Go over to E911. They have the room, or our employee clinic has one as well. Go over there. It's free. Just go sit in the chair, get your massage, and relax and zone out. And you know, that's one great thing. Like I said, take a day off. Like, go do something you enjoy doing. Go fishing. I know a lot of the guys like to go fishing, get on a boat, go fishing. So do that. I tell them to do that. And um, I mean, it's just all types of things. I always ask them, what do you enjoy doing? Go do that. Take some time and go do that.
Yeah.
What frees your mind so that you're not really thinking about work, or you're not really thinking about the stresses that you may have. Go do that and just do it for a day. And so that way you can clear your mind and clear your stress levels.
Yeah. Yeah, like, wow, that's such a great, and you rarely hear that. Usually it's just like, go, go, go. We got to get this done at all costs. And then you got your team where you're just like, hey, take care of yourself, and here's how we do it. And it's not just words, it's put into action. Um, what are some of the times where maybe, oh, I'm assuming there was a time where it wasn't like that, and then you chose, intentionally to care for your team. What kind of motivated that?
Um, so, and I'll say this, and I hope other recreational professionals don't take this too personal. But when I first started in rec, and I'm not sure, I think I may have mentioned this on the first episode. I'm not sure. I may not have. I know I
Mhm.
mentioned it in the room of my peers, but when I first started in Parks and Recreation, like I said, I was usually the youngest in the room. But in your mind, like, when you think of Parks and Recreation, you think of someone with energy, someone that's vibrant, someone that is appears to be, healthy, in shape, fit, ready to go out there and work with these kids and adults of the community. Like, that's what in my mind, that's what I would think I thought of when I thought of Parks and Recreation. And so when I entered into some of these rooms, I would see individuals that did not represent Parks and Recreation with the image that I had in my mind.
Mhm.
Um, Low energy, uh, unhealthy, um, could barely move around. It's like,
Mhm.
that's not, you need. So that's where it started with me. And so I always, from that point, was like, okay, I need to make sure the team is good, I'm good, so that we can be out here and thrive with this community and the people that we serve. And so from that day, I literally vowed in my head, I said, I will not be that person or those individuals, and I'm going to help my team not be that as well.
Yeah. Well, I have a resource for you I'd like to share with you. I just recently discovered on one of my interviews, and you write this down. It's called F3, or you probably remember it. It's just Google F3, and it's a
F3,
group.
okay.
F3 is just a group of great men that meet at like either 6 or 6:30 or 7 in the morning, and it's peer led. It's free to all, and they just do workouts. And then they have this circle of trust and everything. And it was a guy in North Carolina that introduced me to it. And I'm like, every guy should have just a solid group of men surrounding themselves to build themselves up. And they're all worried about, they take their personal health seriously.
Yeah.
And great group. And now I'm actually going to have him as a guest on the show. I'm like, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that's vital. I think that's vital for you to have that. I have that, and you know, I broke my foot. So once it's all the way healed, then I can get back to meeting up. We would wake up 4 o'clock, be at the gym at 5 when it opened, and we would work out, play basketball, do all of those things, and just kicking and talk, and then get ready to go to work. Like that's a ritual, a ritual of, and it feeds your mind, your body, your spirit, all of that.
Yeah, definitely. And now I did want to talk a little bit more about Brian. I tell you, that's another guy on your team that I'm just blown away by. And I'm working so much with your team offline, building stuff, and I'm just shocked at how much they get accomplished and what they do. And Brian was telling me, he was like, yeah, pretty much we even had a weekend in his memory that we haven't had something to set up for, attend, and tear down on Monday. And it's just like every weekend his team just shows up and does all this, and he just leads it with such grace.
Yes,
that's another great guy you got there on the team.
Yeah, and so Brian was a diamond in the rough. One of the guys that had been here for a while, never really had too many opportunities to rise through the ranks. Some things happened once I got here, and some people retired, some people left, and some opportunities came open, and I was able to restructure the department some. And I saw the potential in Brian from day one. And he's done a lot of growing since then. I know he wouldn't mind me sharing this, but he was like, man, you're the reason why I'm getting my degree now. And I'm like, wow, that says a lot. But I always tell him, it's you guys, it's you, man. I'm just a guide way to help you bring out the best in you. And this is all you. You're doing it. You are doing it. He was like, man, I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for, you know, the guidance and leadership, mentorship. And I'm like, man, this is all you. I'm just you, your greatness that you have within yourself. So
yeah. Awesome guy. And actually he is helping me to create our facilities maintenance show. We're kind of at the halfway point. I'll go ahead and play the promo for our facilities maintenance show, but among a couple other people like him across the country, but man, he is just a rising star in that facility maintenance side of Parks and Recreation. So I'll play this promo real quick for our morning show that's all about facilities maintenance, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it.
Awesome.
Behind every thriving park, every safe playground, every event-ready field, there's a team working before sunrise and long after sunset. This is Facility Maintenance, the only show created for and by the unsung heroes of Parks and Recreation. Brought to you by DPRS Media Co., where real work gets real recognition. From restrooms to rec centers, HVAC to turf tech, we go beyond the job site into the heart of operations that keep our communities moving. Our mission? To elevate maintenance teams through stories, solutions, and shared experience. Our vision? a world where every facility crew is seen, valued, and fully supported. Each episode features operators, innovators, and leaders, sharing tools, tech, and tactics that make the impossible look easy. Facility maintenance isn't just a job, it's purpose, it's passion, and now it's a show. Facility maintenance, where tools meet purpose, where work becomes legacy.
All right, so let's just take that. Kind of lost him. Hold on. Let's see if I can get Jonathon back. We've been struggling a little bit with our connection, but I guess while I got him, while we're taking a break, let me go ahead and play the YPN, and then hopefully we'll get him back, and we'll talk a little bit more about facilities maintenance. So this is our Young Professionals Network show that we do every Friday. And if you are a young professional in this industry, Henry County, Georgia does a great job working with young professionals, working with interns. And I think every department needs to work on developing that young professionals network. So we'll play this and then we'll come right back, and we got Jonathon back on. So hold on one second.
Are you ready to lead the next generation of Parks and Rec? Whether you're a student, intern, or rising leader, welcome to the Young Professionals Network by DPRS Media Co. Our mission? To empower early career professionals in parks and recreation through mentorship, visibility, and real-world leadership development. Our vision? A national network of passionate, prepared, and purpose-driven leaders who shape the future of public service. Starting now. Powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, YPN gives you access to exclusive interviews, career-building resources, behind-the-scenes content, and live events, all created by and for the next wave of Parks and Rec professionals. Learn from seasoned directors, build your brand, get involved with national conversations that matter. Whether you're in youth sports, facilities, programming, or policy, YPN is your launchpad. Young Professionals Network, your career, your community, your story.
All right, so we got you back.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's what can you say about how important? Maybe just let's lift up those facilities maintenance people, that side of the equation across America, and then what it means to you in Henry County, Georgia, to have such a solid team there.
I mean, they're the backbone of what we do. What they do is what people see every day.
Mm-hmm.
So when you drive by a park and the park looks great, that's because of the facilities maintenance team. So they're a vital part to everything that we do, from making sure that the fields are prepped and set, to making sure that the grass is cut, to making sure that the buildings are upkept, and also helping set up and break down at events. Our facilities maintenance team also, they build a lot of things. So we have a lot of major events where we have themed events, and they build all types stages, monuments and characters. And I mean, they're building some of everything out of wood and everything else. So they're a phenomenal team, and they're very vital to what we have going on. Also, like I mentioned before, our Parks and Rec, our park maintenance team, they're programmers. They have a mentorship program. So they're not just, weed eating and cutting grass. They're actually getting involved with the youth in our community and providing that mentorship with our watering can program. So they are the cream of the cream, like A standard.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit more about, or give us a little more details about this watering can. Where did that come from, and what does it look like throughout the year?
Yeah, so that program was birthed actually from one of our administrative assistants was asking about, hey, do we have any mentorship programs, and like specific to, at that point she was talking about young girls. And I was like, no, not at this time, but I'm definitely looking to have some type of mentorship program for our youth, a specific mentorship program, because we mentor the kids all the time, but something specific to mentorship. And from that conversation and conversations with Thomas, and then that led to I was talking to him about how right now, if you think about our tradesmen, there's going to be a huge gap. So a lot of our tradesmen are retiring. They're at their retirement age, but there
Mhm.
aren't enough to fulfill all of the ones that are retiring. And so
Mhm.
there's a huge demand for those services, but we don't have the skilled tradesmen to fill that demand. And so how do we do that? And I was like, well, let's build our mentor program around that. And then that's how parks maintenance got involved.
Mm.
And so we was like, we'll teach them about turf maintenance. We'll teach them about small engines. We'll teach them about building things. So they'll learn how to use their hands and will be able to have a job and be valuable to society with these trades. Or still go to a 4-year traditional college and have a trade, something that you can lean on if necessary, or something else that you want to do. So that was the driving force behind it, and it kind of just blew up from there. And have we've had 3 graduations now. It's usually middle school and high school students,
Mhm.
and they learn everything. Learn all about turf maintenance, how to care for ball fields, how to care for yards and different grasses, and what it takes to care for the different varieties of grasses. They learn how to build things. They've built scores boxes for baseball fields. Um, the last class they built cornhole. It was a small cornhole toss. Those cornholes. They built
Boards or something? Yeah.
boards. Yeah, 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 yeah. They able to build a bunch of those, and they learn how to work on small engines like mowers and weed eaters and um, things like that, saws, and how to use a saw. And I mean, learn how to change a tire, which
Mhm.
a lot of people to this day don't know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they learn all of this within our watering can program. And in the last class, um, they were ending right when we were doing our end of summer bash that we do for the kids. And one of the individuals in the class said, "Hey, can I come to the end of summer bash?" Like, yeah, of course you can come. And he's a student, and he was like, "Well, I want to come and I want to help." And it was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, you can come and help us," because they have to set up and break down and work the event and things like that. And when he got there, the maintenance guys was like, so yeah, you can, you helped us a little bit. You can go and play and enjoy the festivities. He was like, no, I'm here to learn and help from you guys. They impacted him that so much that he wanted to just stay
Wow.
with them the entire time at the event.
Wow, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
and you know, I know hindsight's 2020, and it seems like everything you're saying, everything you're doing makes so much sense. And I'm curious why so many other departments are not doing similar activity in working with the youth, building that pipeline on interns with the watering can for the facility side. What do you think are some of the roadblocks or some of the reasons why departments aren't doing similar programs?
A lot of times departments feel like they have financial roadblocks,
Hmm.
or they don't have support from top leadership or commissioners or boards. Um, those could be roadblocks. I am fortunate and blessed to say that I do have the support of my county manager and deputy county manager to do the things that I do. They trust that I'm going to do it to, at a high level, as well as our board of commissioners. Um, we have been blessed to have officials that are elected now that work together, and they allow us to do our jobs.
Mm.
Um, and so sometimes those can be roadblocks. And the biggest thing though, a lot of times is people think that everything has to be financially driven. Um,
Mhm.
we figured out how to do this with little to no costs.
Mhm.
Our costs are materials that when we build something, but we were going to buy that anyways, because what they built, we actually use. Um, or prizes that we give at the end, or the certificates, awards that we give at the end, which is a minimal cost. But a lot of times people think that everything is financially driven and you can't do it because you don't have the funds to do it. But there are ways to figure out how to do that with sponsorships or volunteer time, things like that. Like with our guys, a lot of them, they come in after they work the entire day to do the mentorship. So in turn, I'm like, cool, you can have a day off. I'll give them a day off or something, or you need to go do something, cool, go do it. You don't have to take your leave for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So being flexible with the staff as well, in those situations. But yes, the financial is a lot of the roadblocks that most departments have, and then just feeling like they don't have the support and backing to do the things that they want to do. And then some people get stuck in just doing things the traditional way and just doing the same old things. And there's like, this is going easy. This is good. We're just going to do it. A lot of people are afraid to fail. I tell my team all the time, we're going to try it out. And if it doesn't work, we'll move on, or we'll adjust and make it better. But I don't care if it doesn't work. We tried it. If it doesn't work, we'll move on.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a little amateur gardener. I wouldn't consider myself a master gardener, but I've seen the difference between a thriving garden and one that's just choked out with weeds, not taken care of. And you've really just created a thriving department, a thriving team. Anything else you'd like to add if you are advising someone how to maybe follow in your footsteps? What some of the first steps they would need to create a similar thriving team like you have?
Be open-minded, being transparent, being willing to receive criticism from your team. A lot of people at the top or leaders have a problem with receiving criticism or feedback from their own team. I welcome it all the time from my team. And in return, they receive the feedback that I give them, or criticism that I give them, or ways to improve that I give them better, because they know that they can do the same thing for me in a respectful way. At the same time, they still respect my position. You see what I'm saying? So being open-minded, being caring, and really care about your team, like being vulnerable, whenever you have a vulnerable moment, be vulnerable with them. That shows that you're human. That shows that they can relate to you. Being relatable, that's a huge factor. If you're relatable and they see that, then it'll work out.
Yeah, that really is something special that y'all have going on there. So tell us about this. I've heard you say it's called CARE. Can you explain what that is and where it came from and how y'all use it?
Yes. So Henry County has never really had a Parks and Rec master plan. In the 50 years, it's now 51 years or 52 years, but the 50 years that it's been in existence, it never had a comprehensive parks master plan. And so that was one of the things I really wanted to accomplish and complete when I came here, was to complete a comprehensive parks master plan. It took me some time. We finally got the right support and we got one passed. And during that process, we had to create a new vision and mission, and something that, our motto, what do we stand for and live by? And I will toot my own horn. I came up with the acronym CARE. And it stands for Creating Amazing Recreational Experiences. And that was birthed out of wanting everyone to have a sense of belonging here at Henry County when they experience our parks and recreation. And so that's where it came from. CARE. Like, we want to care for you. We want to care enough for ourselves so that we can care for you.
Now, I know a lot of people will go through the trouble of doing a year-long master plan. They spend a lot of money on it and they finally achieve it, and then they just put it on the bookshelf and it just sits there.
It accumulates dust. Nope.
Right.
I intentionally wanted an implementation plan with this comprehensive parks master plan, and was blessed to have it lined up with when we were doing our next SPLOST. And so on that SPLOST referendum, I was able to have them approve funding for the comprehensive parks master plan, initial funding to start projects with the comprehensive parks master plan. So it's not sitting. We've already started working on a lot of projects that align with our comprehensive parks master plan. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, it really seems like those are the departments that can make this a living, breathing document that evolves as you start to implement it. What are some of the things that y'all have to evolve or dial in? Are there any examples on that?
As it relates to the plan,
Yeah, the master plan is because I know a lot of times, you've heard. I get this from the Navy SEALs books that I've read that no plan survives the first round of fire. You got to go into battle with a plan, but just know that your plan might get ripped to shreds the second you start trying to execute it. So you have to evolve the plan in real time. How do y'all do that?
yeah. So the plan allows for some of that evolution.
Mhm.
We recognized that as we were building the plan. We had a great consulting team that have done a lot of plans across the country and specifically in Georgia as well, with larger organizations like the city of Atlanta, who has like millions of people. So understanding the experience and what they went through and how we can safeguard ourselves to some of those things. But as you said, every plan, it doesn't go as planned. Um,
Right.
and so the thing is, you have political forces that like, oh, hey, I understand that, but we need to do this. And so
Yeah.
that's where you make those adjustments. You draw them back to the plan that was approved. Like, hey, this is what was approved. We need to make sure that we're following this, and always bring them back to that plan. But they're going to
Yeah.
definitely try.
So if someone wanted to, aside from watching the Rec Room, which is every second Wednesday of the month on 1:30, where you can learn more about how they do what they do, are there any other resources if a department says, "Look, I see what they're doing. I think we can do this." What kind of resources can you give them to try to step in, follow y'all's footsteps?
Definitely follow us on Facebook, our
Mhm.
Henry County Parks and Rec Facebook page, because it's hugely active. And we post a lot of content there. We have a great, like you say, our interns or our young professionals that are on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and they do a lot of great things and keep up with the trends to keep us relevant on those platforms. But it
Yeah.
sheds a light into a lot of the things that we do and how we do what we do. So that's a great resource just to see what we're doing and how we're doing what we're doing. Also, attending the conferences. So and I give all the credit to Thomas. Again, I said, hey, I want us to be more involved in GRPA, NRPA, because when I got here, the department wasn't really that involved outside of submitting a team for one of the tournaments here and there. And that wasn't even consistent. So I was like, I really want us to be involved in GRP. I really want us to be involved in NRPA because I was before I came here. And so from that point, now we at the GRPA conference, we're presenting, like we have people presenting. We're doing 14 presentations at GRPA, which is
Wow.
amazing, like
That's
amazing.
crazy.
Right. And then so that's where you can come and learn how we do what we do and how we built the culture that we built, as well as a couple of us on the at the leadership level are going to NRPA, and we're going to be speaking at NRPA. So
Yeah.
in Orlando.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people look at, when you're asked to speak at one of these conventions, that it's just a way for you to give back to the community, share what you've learned. And so I know that is one thing that happens, but how does that make your team better? Why is it important for the team itself, for the presenter itself to present? How's that benefiting your team?
One, it builds confidence in them and what they're doing. it also shows them that people care about what they're doing and want to know how they're doing what they're doing. So they're doing a good job at it, or people wouldn't want to listen to it. And
Yeah.
then it also helps with public speaking. So we do a lot of stuff in front of the public. It gives them that confidence to be in front of people and speak in front of people confidently when they're out in public. So that helps the team tremendously. And then when you have 14 people presenting at one conference, like it just builds more camaraderie amongst the
Right.
team.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not because they want to. I know your team's not volunteer. Please assign me to speak.
No, we voluntold a lot of people, and now they're like, oh yeah, I can do it. Oh yeah, I can do it. So
Yeah, shout out to Miss Donna. I know she does not like the limelight or to speak, but
no.
she does it. Man, once she starts, it's just a great. She just is such a professional at what she does. A lot of wisdom in what she's done.
Man, she is amazing. And that I call her the Bible of Parks and Rec. She's been here for 35 years at Henry County, and she knows a lot. Like she is the backbone of what we do. So we lean on her for knowledge, definitely history here in Henry County to help us navigate through situations. So yeah, she's very valuable to what we do. She is we have something where we say she's the today person, I'm the tomorrow person. But we're a great team together.
Yeah, we were laughing the last time she came on the show just by herself. I was like, Donna, you know they're never going to let you retire, right?
Right.
And she's actually stood in as the interim director when we're between directors for I think 2 or 3 times now, correct?
From my understanding, yes. That was before I got here, but yes, that was my understanding. Yep.
Yeah, that's almost like a little cheat code having someone like her on your team that you can lean on. That's just got so much experience and wisdom in this industry.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And she's phenomenal. And she
Now,
can
how about
keep a great poker face. Like if I ever play poker with someone, it's going to be Donna Holder because she is going to keep that poker face.
She does. She seems like she's just cool, calm, and collected in all the different storms. She's like just seeing so much, and so she's like, "It'll be okay. We'll get through this."
Yep.
Yeah. And so, what are you going to be speaking about in I don't know if whatever you can say at NRPA, at GRPA? What are some of the topics that you've chosen to speak about?
So it's going to be about leadership as well as the.
And you're speaking at NRPA, correct?
Yes, NRPA. Yep. Same topic.
All right, so we have a little tradition, and I think you've done this before with us, but I want to hear the sales pitch again. If you're speaking to a group of undecided college kids, what do you say to them that don't quite know what they're going to do with the rest of their life? What testimony would you give to the industry to say, hey, this is something you might want to look to dedicate your life to?
I would say I graduated from college. I wasn't playing sports anymore. I didn't have a clear path of what I wanted to exactly do. And I got involved in Parks and Recreation, and it changed my life. And I'm here as a leader today because of the value that Parks and Recreation brought to my life. It was amazing. It has been an amazing experience. It is an amazing experience. And it's taught me valuable life lessons about service and how I serve the community and the world today and making a change and making a difference.
Yeah, man, that's a powerful one right there. All right. So this comes from Cameron Levi's from Bowling Green, Kentucky. He left you a question. And then you'll be able to leave a question for our next guest. But his question to you is to share a story with the listeners of the biggest impact that someone has made on your life.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's gonna be cliche, but I'm gonna have to say my mother. The way that she disciplined me and cared for me, shaped me into the person that I am today.
Mm.
I will share a story. um, so, back in our day, we used to get whoopings. It wasn't this soft parenting.
Yeah.
we get whoopings back in the day. And so when I was in elementary school, I actually, and people never believe me when I say this, but I used to have a quick temper. I didn't pick anything, I didn't start anything, but if someone messed with me, I had a very quick temper when I was
Uh,
very young. And so I would get in trouble because I would respond to people doing stuff to me. And of course, they always see the second person, or both of us would get in trouble if they saw both of us. And
mhm.
my mom got tired of it. She was like, every day when I came home, I got a butt whooping. I did my
Uh,
homework and I had to do 100 push-ups. And if I messed up and I was on like 90, I would have to start all the way back over and do those push-ups again. Mind you, she's ex-military. She was in the military for a few years. So
Nice.
so that definitely helped shape the discipline that I have, and then just who I am today. Um, that has her the way that she raised me has a huge impact on my life.
Fantastic. Well, great job, Mom. Okay, so what question would you like to leave for our next guest?
Mm, the question I would like to leave for the next guest is, if you could create the world of your dreams, what would that look like?
Wow. Okay, I have to hear your answer to this one. If you could create the world of your dreams, what would that look like? Is
What
that
would
it?
that look like?
Okay, so JP, if you could create the world of your dreams, what would that look like?
So if I could create the world of my dreams, it would look like everyone being able, and I'm not talking about a utopia, because I do think that there's duality in life.
Mhm.
And so you need the yin and the yang of life to appreciate the yin or appreciate the yang.
Mm.
Um, and so it would be that everyone respected each other and respected their differences. Um, but we were all allowed to be creative in our own right and not have to worry about the financial piece of the world. Like, the world didn't revolve around capitalism, and we were able to just create everything, the best of the best, and share it like a what is it, open source, like an
Yeah.
open source world where we're just out there creating and being the best versions of ourselves and enjoying life, enjoying each other, experiencing everything that this world has to offer,
Yeah.
not just here in the United States, but across the world. So,
Oh man. Well, I have a shorter answer for that one. If you could
uh,
create the world of your dreams, what would that look like? It would look like Henry County, Georgia Parks and Rec. That's what it would look
I love it. I love it. I
Well,
love
man,
it.
JP, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And thank you. I mean, we're also having you as a quick guest. We are doing 57 interviews. I'm gonna collapse in front of the microphone, but we've got 57 interviews scheduled for 3 days at NRPA.
NRPA, yes.
Yes, and
I'm looking forward to it. You're going to be exhausted, but I'm looking forward to it.
yes, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Just in a few short weeks, but I appreciate you coming back on the show today, and thank you so much for sharing just what y'all are doing over there. And thank you for your leadership, man. You're doing a great
Thank
job.
you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for creating with us. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this, and really bringing something to fruition that we've definitely been talking about. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep doing it. I'm not going to quit on y'all.
Thank you.
Take care, JP. Have
All
an
right, you
awesome day.
too.
All
Bye.
right. All right. So that was one of the best leaders that I've come across in Parks and Rec. I mean, there's a lot of great leaders in Parks and Recreation, but JP and his team are just doing such a great job to see Parks and Rec department that has just matured and created a thriving environment that serves their community, and not the expense of the people that are doing the serving, but they're just building this team. They're better people because they're over there, and you just see it. It just exudes from every person that I've ever met in Parks and Recreation over at Henry County, Georgia. Is just amazing. And you can catch the whole team every month. Every second Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, you can see Henry County, Georgia, and share a lot of the wisdom that they've done. And they don't pull any punches. They talk about, how it was before and how we got it to where it is today. And it was just a team effort that took many years to get it there. But to see such a flourishing department is just, it's amazing. And I'm so glad we get to create a monthly show with them here at the Daily Parks and Rec Show. All right. So next we have our Youth Sports Mastery show coming up in just a few short minutes, in about 23 minutes to be exact. And that's with our host, Aaron Locks. Let me go ahead and play the little promo for that. And then we'll wrap things up, and stay tuned for Aaron Locks right after that. So we'll play this promo, and then I'll send y'all off.
At DPRS Media Co., we don't just create content. We elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped, not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics and powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
All right, so Youth Sports Mastery show is starting here in 20 minutes. Stay tuned, and we will see you there shortly. It's Craig LeBlanc, the doorman, signing off for another great Thursday. We'll see y'all here again tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye.
At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead, while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.